Good morning everybody, Miss Yeomans here. Unfortunately we can't use Microsoft Teams this morning, so it will be a narrated PowerPoint for both your lesson now, period 1, and also for your period 4 English lesson as well. For this lesson you just need your class book and we're going to be focusing on how to structure creative writing. Please write today's date and title in your class book, make sure both are underlined and pause the video whilst you do so. Your first task is the quick quiz, just to test your knowledge and quiz you on your knowledge, and a little bit of revision here too. Answer the 5 questions in your books in full sentences. Pause the video whilst you do so. And the next slide will be the answers, so you can pause the video whilst you just get the correct answers in there as well. So hopefully you finished the quiz now and now you're ready for the answers. So the answers to each question will come on this video. You might want to pause at each point and just make a note of the correct answer in your book. So the answer to question 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Alright, as I said to you, we are going to be looking at how we structure writing, including how we might start our writing too. So, this is what I'd like you to do. I'm going to share with you the opening lines for some novels, and all I want you to do is for each opening that you see, just write down what methods has the writer used. So I'll do the first one with you as an example and then I'll leave you to it. And again, as the video continues, there'll be some checkpoints that you can have a look at. So a student said, these are the best opening lines in literature. To what extent do you agree? So the first one, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. So in your books, just make a note of what methods has the writer used there. And this writer is Charles Dickens and the novel is A Tale of Two Cities. So in your notes, you might be writing some of the methods you use as well. There's clearly repetition. It was, it was, it was, it was, all the way through. And there's also some juxtaposition there as well. You've got that all the way through, best and worst, wisdom, foolishness, hope, despair, spring, winter. So that might be something to make a note of as well. So that's our second opening. So what's the methods the writers used? Our third opening, all children except one grow up. So what methods is the writer using in each of these openings? Just making a note of the methods the writer's using. You could pause the video at any time just to read through the opening and then in your books list what methods the writer's using in the openings here. So in terms of what methods of the writer using, did you get these ones? So we talked about the repetition, we talked about the juxtaposition of Charles Dickens using in A Tale of Two Cities. There's intrigue. It was the day my grandmother exploded. There's definitely some intrigue there, mystery. The simple sentence structures that are used. It was the day my grandmother exploded as a really short, simple sentence to start. You'll see J.D. Salinger. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born. So here Salinger is talking, the narrator is talking directly to you, the reader. We would call that second person. There's some contradictory starts there or contradictory information that the writer's used. There's the idea of setting a scene. So you'll want to know where I was born. It was a cold day in April, so setting the scene. Introducing a character, we see that in Salinger's as well. And this idea of suspense. So these are some methods that writers might use in openings. And the reason I wanted to share this with you is because today's task is going to be the writing the opening of a story based on our clip. And what I'd like you to do is pause this video and you'll see a link in Show My Homework for the opening scene of a film called The Children of Men. And as you're watching the opening, I just want you to make a note of what's happening in each part. So you'll pause this video, watch this clip and come back to us. So I've written a model answer based on that clip. What I'd like to do is pause this video, read this model answer and just make a note of the methods that are used. And what I would like you to do is see if you can then mirror these methods in your own writing. So using this as a style model and mirror these methods in your own writing. So pause the video now and just make a note of what methods have been used and where. And you can make a note of this in your book. So just look at the methods that you wrote down. Are they similar to these ones here? If not, you can add to your list. So here, we started with dialogue to create intrigue, and that mirrors what you saw in the clip as well. More intrigue because everyone's looking at something, but it's not yet revealed to the reader what's being looked at. It's a bit of a slow reveal. There's unusual subject matter. So Earth's youngest person confirmed as dead. That's unusual. I don't know who the youngest person on Earth is, and certainly it wouldn't make the news if that's not something that we would usually see on our news. Look at the sentence structure used. So there's a one-word sentence for murder. Clearly that's an important word. I want you to think about the vocabulary that is used throughout. So words such as severity, solidarity, disbelief, dreading, malice, distinguish. So look at the words used throughout and that standard of vocabulary used throughout. There's pathetic fallacy used. So just outside, the rain drizzled miserably onto the grey streets. Talks about the pollution and the oppression sort of felt from that pollution. And then we've got onomatopoeia, just that one word exclamative bang. And again, that mirrors the clip that you will have watched. We talked about the exclamative there. Complex sentences for description, so a description of the explosion. And then simple sentences at the end to build that tension again. And the ending is quite ominous. What can we see from this cloud of debris? Okay. So now you've watched the clip, you've seen a model answer. I'd like to see if you can plan the task is to write the opening of a story based on this clip. Can you now plan what your opening is going to look like? Using some of the methods that you've seen in that model answer and using the clip as your inspiration for writing. So in your plan, can you start with dialogue at the beginning, like the clip does and like you've seen in that model answer? In your plan, what will your description of the crowd look like the clip, using the methods used in that model answer? Can you use pathetic fallacy to describe the setting? And then thinking about when you describe the explosion, what methods will you use to describe that? How will you make it dramatic? Will you use exclamatives, onomatopoeia, and so on and so forth? So pause this video whilst you plan. Okay, so now you have your plan. You've seen the clip, so you know what the stimulus is. Use the model answer and mirror the method structures where you can. Make sure you're following your plan at each part. And just a reminder, Year 11, these are some of the methods that you might want to include in your writing. To help with your writing, you can go back at any point and rewatch different parts of this video. So you could rewatch the clip again, you could pause the video on the model answer again, you could have a look at those openings again. So at any point, if you think, I'm not sure what to do next, or feeling a bit stuck here, go back, rewatch and see if you can get some help there. Alternatively, all of your English teachers are available today. So if you need help, you can get in touch via email or Show My Homework, the chat function on Show My Homework. More than happy to help you. And we are expecting that you'll be sending your work. So you can either type up on a Word document and email this to us, or send it through Show My Homework, or you can take a picture of your work and send that to us. And what we can do then is read it and give you feedback. And then that will really help you then to improve and make progress. Thanks so much for watching Year 11. Good luck with the writing and hope to be seeing you live, if not in school, soon. Take care. Bye-bye.